There was a deafening quiet in the crowded Flagstaff church. The silence that results from adoration was not this one. It was tense and weighty, the quiet of a broken family confined to one room by tragedy. A framed portrait of Garrison Brown was surrounded by flickering candles, his eyes fixed eternally in the solemn grin of a military son who loved, served, and hurt more than most people had ever known. With the exception of her shaking fingertips resting against a tissue, Janelle sat motionless in the first row. Gabriel, Hunter, and Logan, the males who sat next to her, were all dressed in suits that didn't completely conceal the agony on their faces. Savannah's countenance was unreadable as she held on to her mother's side. This was a grieving family, but not a cohesive one. Kody Brown sat a few feet away with a thin face and an untidy tie. In a peculiar manner, grief held on to him, but it didn't affect his kids. They hardly gave him a glance. Desperate for a glimpse of recognition, of a shared suffering, he looked to Logan and Gabriel, but got none. Squeezing her seat next to him, Robyn wiped her eyes. Her grieving was practiced, her makeup flawless. She did not give Janelle any warmth. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. No recognition for the children that weren't hers. It is merely a symmetrical, polished, performative grief. Dozens gathered outside the church. Fans, friends, and family. News had spread that Garrison Brown, one of the countless kids America had grown up watching on TV, was no longer there. Both the millions of people who watched his life on television and the people who knew him well bore the burden of that loss. However, murmurs were more audible in the background as the service got underway. Where is Meri? Curiosity and hatred swirled around the question. Her absence had been reported to the outside press, which stoked a flurry of conjecture. Within hours, social media was in full swing. Why doesn't Meri attend Garrison's funeral? Few people stopped to think about the complexities of her quiet, despite theories ranging from apathy to family strife. As the rain traced gentle lines down the glass, Meri sat in the dim parlor of her inn. In any case, she had worn black. She honored Garrison by lighting a candle. On the desk was a card that was written in her hand and addressed to Janelle. She gripped it with trembling hands, pressing her thumb into the paper as though she were transferring a piece of her soul to it. She had desired to leave. However, the burden of what was waiting for her in that church, a family that had rejected her, a husband who had emotionally deserted her long before he was able to legally free her, was too great. In her own way, she had grieved for Garrison. She had contacted Janelle in private. She had sent love, flowers, and letters to the kids. She would not, however, be used as a prop in their act. Sitting on the bed's edge, she let herself to be carried away by the quiet. She switched off the sound when the news coverage started. She sensed the loss without any explanation. The siblings met for a private vigil at a nearby park following the service. No cameras. Not a producer. Just a circle of lawn chairs, lanterns that run on batteries, and hugs that are stained with tears. In Garrison's honor, Gabriel lighted a lantern and handed it to Hunter. No one disputed Gabriel's whisper that he deserved better. Despite being late, Madison had stories with him. She read aloud from an old journal that Garrison had previously shared with her, which had painful entries, dark humor, and snippets of poetry. I feel like I'm yelling while submerged. And it goes unheard. No, not Robyn. Not even God at times. The gathering fell silent. The wind appeared to be motionless as well. They all realized how much their brother had suffered at that very moment. Furthermore, not much had been done. Gwendlyn went live the following evening. The question, why wasn't Meri at the funeral, was already filled with responses. Will she be written out once more? Was she prohibited by TLC? Her voice was sharper than viewers were accustomed to, and she sat up straight. All right. Her brows furrowed as she said, "Let me just clarify something right now. Meri chose not to attend the burial since it would have become a spectacle for the media. Her presence would have generated more conversation than Garrison's departure. He didn't deserve that. She grieved in her own manner, and to be honest, she had experienced enough." Her expression wavered with emotion as she paused. "I'm sick of everyone pointing the finger at the wrong people." The comment section went crazy. She wasn't done though. Are you curious as to why Garrison felt so isolated? Since my father never longer shows up. Because he allowed Robyn to keep us apart. Garrison made contact. He desired to connect. However, the one person he needed to hear from the most was the only one from whom he received quiet. She took a deep breath. This has nothing to do with somebody did not attend a funeral. This relates to the person who failed to appear before we lost him. In the dark, Kody watched the broadcast. Robyn was in bed already. She had left the room nevertheless. The funeral had been the last time she had talked. Nor had she protected him. Perhaps even she no longer trusted the script they had practiced. He repeated Gwendlyn's comments, hammering each one home. He recalled ignoring Garrison's texts. He recalled that quarantine regulations were preferred to connection. He recalled the phone call that ended with a yell and no further conversation. He had persuaded himself that he was keeping the family safe. That although his choices were difficult, they were essential. Now, though, it felt like doctrine-clad cowardice. His decline was further exacerbated by the headlines, "Kody Brown's own children are to blame. He lost a son to Robyn's reign. Father of none or family patriarch?" He grabbed his phone and attempted to call Janelle. Directly to voicemail. He made an attempt to contact Gabriel. Blocked. He attempted to access the group chat for his family. Taken out. No funeral could compare to the quiet. Meri's comeback to the public eye several weeks later. Meri posted at last. Just one picture of a candle. The caption beneath it reads, "Attention is not a measure of grief. It is determined by love. Garrison, you are always in my heart. I also bear the wounds from a family that taught me to grieve in solitude. However, I remain here. Standing. My quiet was never absence. For those who need to know. It was a show of respect." The post became widely shared. Even her detractors stopped talking. Meri was being seen for the first time in years. Not as the wife who was left behind. The woman pushed out, but not. However, as someone who had discreetly moved the debris and refrained from burning it, she never left, Gwendlyn wrote when she shared it. "You simply didn't look." Robyn pulled away. She stayed in the bedroom for days. There were rumors of delayed filming, TLC interference, and even divorce. When Kody pleaded for unity, he was met with colder hearts and closed doors. Instead of just rejecting him, the kids changed the story. One by one, they started to talk. In audio recordings, during interviews, on social media. Something deeper than anyone had anticipated had been shattered by Garrison's passing. Not merely the appearance of a polygamous home in operation. However, the father who had everything under control, Kody Brown, is a myth. The masks were removed, and what was left was genuine, broken, and unvarnished. And there's more. Kody Brown, the patriarch of sister wives, has never felt love until he married Robyn Brown, his fourth wife. On the May 25th Sister Wives one-on-one special, he reportedly told host Sukanya Krishnan that he wanted to raise every wife up to that level and share the same experience with them. Janelle Brown, his ex-wife, replied, "It would have been nice if he had communicated that." However, she also thinks that Kody is making revisionist history. "He never discussed that with me." Meri Brown felt more strongly than Janelle, who dismissed Kody's absurd assertion with a simple laugh. Meri informed Suki, "I don't think that's fair for him to even say. Are all of us expected to be Robyn? I'm Meri and I apologize. I will not be like Robyn." Meri continued by saying that she believes Kody's comparison of his spouses in this manner is unfair. She went on, "I'm going to be my own unique person. I'd rather not be her." Furthermore, she added, "It's fantastic if they get along well." That's a terribly unfair remark, in my opinion. Sukanya then pondered, "Is it possible for polygamy to be equal but distinct? That, in my opinion, is the issue. Women differ from one another. Relationship chemistry can vary from one moment to the next." All of a sudden, Kody had a woman with whom he had never had such a great chemistry. It caught him off guard, but he was unable to make his other wives feel the same way. He didn't seem to want to either. Meri feels that Kody never truly embraced her for who she is, which is why she eventually left him in 2022. He completely disregarded her for the last 12 or 14 years, or maybe even more of their 35-year relationship. Meri Brown, who is her own woman, criticized Kody Brown's unfair comparison to his fourth wife Robyn Brown in an exclusive interview with News About Sister Wives one-on-one program. For this reason, when Kody Brown first brought his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, into the family, the Sister Wives star argues with him for wanting her, as well as his previous sister wives, Janelle and Christine Brown, to change. Meri said I don't think that's fair for him to even say, after host Sukanya Krishnan disclosed that Kody claimed he had wanted to raise every wife up to the same degree of divine love he felt with Robyn. News obtained an exclusive glimpse at the TLC series May 25th one-on-one special. She sneered. We're all supposed to be Robyn? I'm sorry, I am Meri. I'm not going to be Robyn. It's unfair for Kody to think about the other sister wives in this manner, the 54-year-old actually claimed. I'm going to be my own individual person, she further stated. I don't want to be her. In retrospect, Meri, who announced her breakup with Kody in 2022, thinks that his lack of acceptance of her was a contributing factor in the breakdown of their decades-long romance. According to her, he didn't for the past 12 or 14 years, or maybe even more. Similarly, Janelle, who declared her separation from Kody in 2021, did not like Kody's comments against his ex-wives, telling Sukanya in her own private conversation, "That's revisionist history." The 56-year-old continued by saying that she didn't think Kody ever tried to become closer to his former spouses until Robyn joined the family. "Would have been nice if he communicated that back then," she said. "He never talked about that with me." What about Kody? He is currently not interested in plural marriage, after divorcing his third wife, Christine, in 2022 as well. In an April Sister Wives episode, the 56-year-old said to Robyn, 46, "It's hard not to be bitter about the fact that I bought off on it and did it because in the end, in the last moments of it, I felt terrible in the last moments of it." He said, "I don't want to pursue another woman because I don't want that headache. The questions, the struggles, the wonder about trust." Shop Kardashian's Royals TV scoop. News, images, and videos. Only Meri Brown of Sister Wives explains why she doesn't want to be like Robyn Brown and E. Meri Brown criticized Kody Brown's unfair comparison to his fourth wife Robyn Brown in an exclusive interview with News About Sister Wives one-on-one program. Written by Gabrielle Chung, 8 p.m. on May 23, 2025, updated 9 hours ago. Tags now. That is also revisionist history. What is he about? I tried, nevertheless, since I wanted to 1 minute, 22 seconds, 0 seconds, 0 21 121. See why Meri Brown of Sister Wives says she doesn't want to be Robyn Brown. Meri Brown is independent. For this reason, when Kody Brown first brought his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, into the family, the Sister Wives star argues with him for wanting her, as well as his previous sister wives, Janelle and Christine Brown, to change. Meri said I don't think that's fair for him to even say, after host Sukanya Krishnan disclosed that Kody claimed he had wanted to raise every wife up to the same degree of divine love he felt with Robyn. News obtained an exclusive glimpse at the TLC series May 25th one-on-one special. She sneered. We're all supposed to be Robyn? I'm sorry, I am Meri. I'm not going to be Robyn. It's unfair for Kody to think about the other sister wives in this manner, the 54-year-old actually claimed. I'm going to be my own individual person, she further stated. I don't want to be her. In retrospect, Meri, who announced her breakup with Kody in 2022, thinks that his lack of acceptance of her was a contributing factor in the breakdown of their decades-long romance. According to her, he didn't for the past 12 or 14 years, or maybe even more. Go through. Meri Brown of Sister Wives explains her dating difficulties following her breakup with Kody Brown. Similarly, Janelle, who declared her separation from Kody in 2021, did not like Kody's comments against his ex-wives, telling Sukanya in her own private conversation, "That's revisionist history." The 56-year-old continued by saying that she didn't think Kody ever tried to become closer to his former spouses until Robyn joined the family. "Would have been nice if he communicated that back then," she said. "He never talked about that with me." Figure 8/Puddle Monkey prods. Kobel Shutterstock. What about Kody? He is currently not interested in plural marriage, after divorcing his third wife, Christine, in 2022 as well. In an April Sister Wives episode, the 56-year-old said to Robyn, 46, "It's hard not to be bitter about the fact that I bought off on it and did it because in the end, in the last moments of it, I felt terrible in the last moments of it." He said, I don't want to pursue another woman because I don't want that headache. The questions, the struggles, the wonder about trust. Continue reading for more shocking revelations from this season of Sister Wives. Stories that trend: why Kody Brown of Sister Wives excavated the grave for the interment of his son Garrison. Reasons for Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken Urker's divorce following the birth of their daughter Aurora. According to Kourtney Kardashian, she holds her son Rocky when he naps for 3 to 5 hours. Bally's articles: the veterinarian remarks, "That's not a foal," after witnessing a sponsored horse give birth to a foal. Getty Images provides Ida Mae astute/Disney general entertainment content. According to Meri, Kody gave her hope for their union. Shortly after their 1990 vows, Kody Brown declared he was prepared to separate from his first wife, Meri Brown. However, Meri said in the September 15th premiere that he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, "Oh Meri, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us," alluding to their 2018 relocation. Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her primary complaint, she stated, is his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want, and the story that he's been telling for all these years. Also, Kody admitted that there might have been mixed messages, but only because he added, "I'm like, why would I do this?" when he began to work on things. "I would not court and date her now." In any case, when Meri finally pulled the plug in early 2023, her pals were ecstatic. They're like, "Okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you." "And it's about damn time," she admitted. "Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away," she says, implying that he had been trying to get her to leave him for years by claiming he didn't love her. In the season premiere, Kody said that he was prepared to let the idea die, years after the family had bought the 14-acre plot of land in Flagstaff, Arizona, on which they intended to build. Unable to construct without paying the entire $820,000 price tag, which the family allegedly did in 2023, he said to Robyn Brown, his surviving wife, "I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it and then just start again somewhere else." "I can't talk about that," she said in reference to Robyn. "That is so not where I'm at." Janelle Brown, the second wife, had previously informed E! News, "We just kind of started to grow apart, but in the end, she left because of Kody's shortcomings as a parent to several of their children." The mom told Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown, "The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children, and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it. And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here." Janelle refused to entertain the possibility of reconciliation, even when Kody brought it up in the November 3rd episode. "I don't know how I would ever reconcile with him and have him not have a relationship with my kids," she stated. "No, I'm going to always choose my kids." That was Kody's justification for not trying harder to patch up the problems he was having with some of his grown children. "I don't fit in the family anymore," he complained in the episode that aired on September 15th. Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brianna Brown, Solomon Brown, and Ariella Brown are the 5 children he and Robyn are raising together. He added, "And then I have some relationship with some of the other kids and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family. We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage," Robyn admitted in the season 19 premiere, even though they were being totally monogamous for the first time in their 14-year marriage. "It's been tough between us." He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. "Kody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, are you going to reject me too?" The worst thing, she summarized, was that there's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. As a result, she disclosed, "I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he is not sabotaging our relationship." As Kody shared, "I can't look myself in the mirror and say, hey dude, I love you." Kody was experiencing a crisis of confidence. Seeing her former sister wives enjoy their new era was difficult for Robyn. "They're all moving on," she said on the episode that aired on October 27th. "I feel like the idiot that got left behind." To the list of children Kody isn't currently seeing, add Madison, Janelle's oldest daughter. During the premiere, Janelle clarified, "I am aware that Maddie has not spoken to her father. He's not called, she's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn." She's pretty much written them both off. Kody's shaky relationship with Maddie's children, Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine, is the problem. According to Janelle, she doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it. Because of this, Janelle revealed on the September 22nd episode that when the family started to really dissolve, Kody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Kody's brother. Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme, Janelle continued, since Kody has not been calling or coming to see. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him. Robyn added that she has been pushing Kody to make amends, but she also stated, "I think the kids should be doing the same thing too." Kody, however, seems unprepared to mend the split for the time being, complaining that each time he spoke to his daughter, it was a fish for gossip and I got tired of it. He was alluding to the fact that he never loved me and he felt like he had to marry me. Meri revealed in a conversation with her friend Brandy during the September 15th premiere while they were celebrating their 32nd anniversary. "Kody, I told him, I know you loved me." In a confessional, Leon Brown's mother asked why he ever proposed if he didn't. She questioned, why would a single young man choose to marry a single young woman and simply affirm and force love for her when he didn't love her? How cruel is that? To pick me out of a crowd and just be like, I pick you to try to force myself to love for the next 32 years? According to Kody's own admissions, he responded, "Oh, Meri has her little accusations now. Fine, she can say whatever she wants. I'm not going to comment on it." He would, however, admit that they never relished their honeymoon. During the October 20th show, he insisted, "And how would I know that this marriage was on the rocks the entire marriage? Because my relationships with Robyn, Christine, and Janelle were so much better." Even though he acknowledged that he should have gotten out of the relationship 25 years ago, he remained because he was afraid, saying, "Leadership will never allow you to marry again if you're discarding wives. I think I'm going to have to lawyer up," Janelle admitted to former sister wife Christine Brown in the September 22nd episode, "because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him." Janelle stated that step one was paying off the Arizona property, even though she wasn't sure if she wanted to build on Coyote Pass or just sell it off. Without a valid marriage to Kody, Janelle admitted, "I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property." In her own words, "It's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, there isn't a legal marriage, which makes things quite difficult." Kody claims that he no longer trusted Janelle, which is why he didn't discuss their Arizona property with her. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.